Welcome to Hide and Seek TV. Peace be with everyone. I'm about to get ready to do a deep breakdown. Be covering the show Diff'Rent Strokes. It's gonna be quick. I want to just go into, a lot of the blasphemy that was going on back then and that they were programming, a lot of people with, you know what I'm saying, that try to invade our, our way of thinking and try to change our perception, to just be, like another another deceived people, to keep deceiving the nation, keep deceiving the people, and keep trying to mislead people's tracks, leading them to destruction. Just trying to hijack and infiltrate our tracks as we walk, in the path of Christ. So I want to delve into this because, this show is heavy with the Jewish ties. A lot of the characters had a lot of Jewish ties. So I'm going to delve into this because when you understand all the shows, radio, stations, the music, all of that stuff, all the entertainment, everything to corrupt people and program people is all ran, by the Ashkenaz, as is written. So I'm going to go into Revelation 2:9. I know thy works and tribulation and poverty, but thou art rich. And I know the blasphemy of them which say they are Jews and are not, but are the synagogue of Satan. Those who hijack the true Jews' identity, the true Hebrews' identity, the so-called blacks and the so-called Hispanics, Latinos, throughout America and spread abroad. Judah and Israel. So I'm going to delve into this because as it's written in Revelation 12:17, and the dragon was wroth with the woman and went to make war with the remnant of her seed, which keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of Yahushua Christ. And as it's written, and he opened, Revelation 13:6-7, and he opened his mouth in blasphemy against God to blaspheme his name, his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints and to overcome them. And power was given over all kindreds, tongues, and nations. So, the whole theme is how they want to have people, they want to have people deceived to reject their heritage or, basically not know about the heritage at all and to follow after the ways of the Gentiles, following after the ways of the synagogue of Satan, the Ashkenazi Jewish. So in 2 Maccabees 4:15, not set by the honor of their fathers, but like in the glory of the Grecians best of all. So I'm going to go into the theme song of Diff'Rent Strokes right quick, and I'm going to chime on in and just explain what it's really talking about. So let's delve deep into this because, as we already know, they want to keep trying to hide the fact about how the Messiah would return. They want to keep trying to hide the fact of who Judah really is. Have people call themselves blacks, have people even, calling themselves Mexicans, Puerto Ricans, whites, Asians, etc. Because Satan created race so that he can keep, adding false identities. And when he have a false identity, he could add labeling to that identity. Every black got to be a thug, a gangster, a thief, an athlete, a rapper, etc. See what I'm saying? So I'm going to delve into all of this. So let's listen to this right quick. So that Diff'Rent Strokes just goes into the whole aspect of all the nations and how he'd try to corrupt each nation and give them a false identity, And that's how all that stuff go into the whole thing too, how they were going to build their sodomite kingdom. Their whole LGBTQ, everyone can be a part of it, all strokes, different folks. Everybody can be a part of their world. Everybody wants you to just sell out and join them and follow their ways, and just embrace the false identity that Satan wants us to claim, and reject what God intended it for us to be. So let's delve into this.
The world don't move to the beat of just one drum.
The world don't move to the beat of just one drum. So, they want you to reject the sound. They want you to reject the songs of the Lord. They want you to reject the drums of the Lord, the rhythm of God. Reject his laws, reject his commandments.
What might be right for you may not be right for some.
See, what might be right for you might not be right for some. So what the Lord intends for us to do and be, that ain't right for, that ain't going to be right for us because we want to keep people rebelling against him,
A man is born, he's a man of means.
say a man is born, he's a man of need. So they already know the whole theme as it's written in 1 John 4:3. And every spirit that confesseth not that Yahushua Christ is come in the flesh is not of God. And this is that spirit of Antichrist, whereof ye have heard that it should come, and even now it is already in the world. So they already know that the Messiah was going to return in the flesh. That's why even the show Welcome Back, Kotter, they say the same thing, welcome back. Where the names have all changed since you hung around. So the names have all changed since you hung around, and they already know how the Messiah was going to return as a man. As it's written, he come in the flesh, he'll be as Moses and lead the Exodus, but they don't want people knowing that.
Then along come two, they got nothing but the genes, but they got...
See, they got nothing but the genes. It goes into the whole theme, of that whole theme of the bloodline of Christ, the genes. So they don't want people knowing about who they are. You see how they got them all just running around playing basketball, because that goes into the ways of the Greeks, rejecting the heritage of their fathers and becoming as the Greeks, following on the ways as a Gentile,
Different strokes it takes, different strokes it takes, different strokes to move the world.
Different strokes to move the world. So, as it's written, Israel without end. So, the whole thing, they want to keep moving the world. They want to keep people, living in Satan's kingdom, keep people, they can keep the charades going longer and longer, trying to delay the Exodus, trying to delay the Great Awakening by having people caught up in the foolishness and in the charades of Satan, proclaiming themselves with false identities, etc.,
Everybody's got a special kind of story.
See, everybody got their own story. So, the book of life, they want you to reject Christ, reject him being the author of the beginning and the end, and just be your own story, be your own God, join them,
Everybody finds a way to shine.
Everybody find a way to shine because, as it's written, Christ is the light of the world. But they want you to be your own God, Now, yeah, he told us to let our light shine because he's the one who give us the spirit, and he wants us to spread the truth and edify others and build the kingdom. But they want people to have their own light and be their own gods,
No matter that you got not a lot, so what? They'll have theirs and you'll have yours and I'll have mine.
See, you have yours and I have mine, They want everybody to have their portion and, join us and you'll be rewarded. Basically become more Greek sellouts. Join their frats, join their sororities, join their masons,
And together we'll be fine, 'cause it takes different strokes to move.
You see that? And then they showing them the high rise. You can join us and there'll be many opportunities, many rewards, Join our world, reject him. So you see, on the show too, remember Gary Coleman used to always say, what you talking about, Willis? So let's delve into that right quick.
What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about? What you talking about, Willis?
See, what you talking about, Willis? Because, Willis in Exodus 3:14, it's very important to understand in Exodus 3:14. Remember it says, and God said unto Moses, I am that I am. And he said, thus shalt thou say unto the children of Israel, I am have sent me unto you. So the Willis goes into the William. So the I am that I am, the will of I am that I am, the will of God, the Willis. So you see how he's saying what you talking about, Willis, because they want to just reject, they want to reject what Christ got to say, and be their own gods. We ain't hearing nothing you telling us to seek, seek the kingdom. Don't worry about trying to be as Satan. Don't worry about trying to be as the Gentiles. Don't worry about trying to, be gain the earth, gain our portion on earth. What you telling us that for? Telling us that we need to serve the laws, statutes, and commandments, to seek, the Son, and seek out the Holy Spirit, is to connect with the Father, to know how to return unto the Father. So, that's what they whole thing, what you talking about. But, as it's written in Hebrews 1:8, but unto the Son he saith, thy throne, O God, is forever and ever. A scepter of righteousness is the scepter of thy kingdom. So, the Messiah will hold the rod. So he's the one who leads us to the Father. He's the one, who is the light, the way, and the truth. But he's asking him what he's talking about. So you see the whole show is just full of blasphemy. The guy who plays Willis, his name is Todd Bridges. The Bridges, Christ is obviously the bridge unto the Father. So Todd Bridges plays Willis. He's the Jackson. Jackson just goes into the son of Jack. Jack is short for Jacob. And through Jacob comes the 12 tribes of Israel. So you see, that's why they was adopted. That's why they had them adopted by Philip, who had the ties with the Jewish. So let's delve into all of this. They want to keep adopting Judah and Israel into the ways of the Jewish, into the ways of the synagogue of Satan. So excuse the language in this, but before I play it, I'm gonna start it out with Deuteronomy 28:37. And it's very important to know what's going on. So it says, "And thou shalt be an astonishment, a proverb, and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee." Meaning you wouldn't be called by your identity, Judah, Hebrews, Israelites. You would be called blacks, Mexicans, Hispanics, so forth. Jeremiah 14:2, "Judah mourneth, and the gates thereof languish. They are black unto the ground, and the cry of Jerusalem is gone up." So the black unto the ground, that goes into that mourning, that sorrow, So even when you go into Baruch 2:30, which is very important, "For I knew that they would not hear me, because it is a stiff-necked people, but in the land of their captivities they shall remember themselves." So we remember ourselves coming into the knowledge, returning, being the Spirit of the Lord pouring out upon us and returning us back to our heritage. So that's why you see this is on a Little House on the Prairie. It's the same actor who played Willis. And you got him on a Little House on the Prairie. And the little house just goes into the altars, goes to the house of the Lord. As it's written, "In that day there should be an altar to the Lord in the midst of the land of Egypt, and the pillar at the border thereof to the Lord, and it should be for a sign and for a witness unto the Lord of hosts, which are a shadow of things to come, but the body is of Christ." So like I said, excuse the language, but hear what he say. He don't want to be called no more.
Yes, ma'am.
Can you think of something that you dislike?
Being a nigga.
So you see that whole thing. Want to be called by his true identity and not being called, something outside of what he really is that's insulting him and, disrupting his character and disrupting his path on walking with Christ, So I'm going to delve into this right quick, too. Just really fast. I'm going to play another scene. So you understand the word Christ is the Greek form, of the word karos, which just means the anointed one. So the kara, the karos, the ka means soul, ra means light, hence Israel. You see? So going back right quick before I play the scene really fast. On the show, Diff'Rent Strokes, the Jewish lady, you see they said she was on a comedy show playing Sylvia on a TV comedy, Car 54, Where Are You? You see? Car 54, Where Are You? You see that? So that's why you remember they used to always have that show too, Carmen, Where on Earth is Carmen Sandiego? Because they already knew how the Messiah was going to be born in the flesh, and they want to hide all of that. So they want people caught up in those different strokes, So let's play this clip right quick, and I'm going to chime on in. So obviously that whole thing with that car goes into that Karen. So notice what happens, what Karen does. See, Karen gets rid of the Black Lives Matter, washing it away, because that washing it away just goes into how the Messiah is the living waters. He's the man out to sea, being revealed. And the more he's being revealed, the more that black identity is fading away. He comes to wash away that false identity, and return everyone back into who we truly are as Judah, as Israelites, as Judahites, So I'm going to end that right here. Thank you for watching Hide and Seek TV. Much more is coming, man. Peace.